6:30 is your time this morning. Take your identification to your county board of election before tomorrow. That's the message from the Ohio Secretary of State as a big deadline approaches.
Toledo got a visit from a former Ohio governor sharing the message about the election that might be surprising for some.
And a local family is sharing the importance of having identification in a car with you for safety. We have more on the Roth ID tag coming up.
We look forward to getting to all of those stories this morning, but we want to start now with a look at your forecast.
Let's get right over to meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Ryan, you're definitely going to want to have a jacket as you head out.
I think that's a great idea this morning here as we're talking temperatures that are a little bit chilly this morning. At least we've got dry skies on radar. We'll have this for about the next 36 to 48 hours, but rain will return the second half of the weekend. Right now, let's get you prepared for your Friday. It's 41 degrees in Toledo, 40 in Oak Harbor, 40 in Adrian, and 41 down in Findlay. As you look at your bus stop forecast here, we're talking a cooler morning and certainly a pretty nice afternoon. How about that? 60 degrees, some more sunshine, very similar to what we had for yesterday. But like I said, we do have some weekend showers that are looking increasingly likely. We'll help you avoid the heaviest of the downpours coming up in my hour-by-hour forecast. Right now, let's get it over to Steve, our traffic expert. We'll look at our traffic tracker.
Here's a nice live look this morning at our roads in Wood County. This is I-75 right at County Road 99. As you get a nice look at things out there this morning, roadways are moving just fine. No crashes to report, so you're getting to work on time. That's a look at your Gallantakis Boys and All traffic tracker. President-elect Donald Trump's incoming administration and policy agenda are starting to take shape.
And it looks like he will take office with the Republican House and Senate. Things on his agenda include extending 2017 tax cuts, deregulation across federal agencies, and sweeping tariffs on imported goods. Longtime aide for Trump, Stephen Miller, is leading talks on how to use executive orders to execute Trump's plan to deport more than 11 million undocumented immigrants. And the president-elect announced a historic pick for a key White House post. His campaign manager, Susie Wiles, will serve as chief of staff, making her the first woman to ever hold the position.
Meantime, President Biden still has over 70 days left in office. White House officials say he plans to use his time to push through more disaster relief for hurricane victims, get more of his judicial nominees confirmed, and surge aid to Ukraine in its war against Russia.
Time is running out for those who voted with a provisional ballot. To make sure it counts, tomorrow is the deadline to clear up any issues that caused you to vote provisionally. Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose is urging voters to go to their county boards of elections and provide the needed identification to validate their ballot. He says it's very important, especially with the congressional race between Marcy Kaptur and Derek Marin separated by just over 1,000 votes.
It's called the CURE process, and it's not just for this Ohio Congressional District 9 race. It's really all over the state. Any Ohioan that cast a provisional ballot is encouraged to go to the Board of Elections with their ID, and they're actually given an information sheet on Tuesday, on Election Day, that says the boards of elections are open through Saturday, and the hours and where to find your Board of Elections. And it's an important part of the process.
Nearly 138,000 provisional ballots were cast statewide on Election Day, according to LaRose's office.
People voted for change. That's what former Ohio Governor Dick Celeste believes happened this election. He spoke at the University of Toledo last night, talking on several topics from his professional career to the recent election. Celeste served as governor from 1983 to 1991. Other than Ted Strickland, he was the last Democrat to hold that position. He says he doesn't think party was the only factor for voters this election.
I think that we make a mistake when we color the nation red or blue. The reality is most people want to think for themselves. Fastest growing party is the Independent Party.
Celeste says he's seen families struggle to have conversations with one another because of politics, but he says it doesn't have to be that way because he believes family comes first.
Following a tense election cycle, Bowling Green State University brought students and public leaders to talk about democracy. During the day of dialogue, a group of legislators, both Republican and Democrat, were brought together to talk about the importance of working in a bipartisan manner.
Dialogue about, working across the aisle and bipartisanship in the State House. So it was, exciting to talk about that with a panel of my colleagues, with students and staff from BGSU.
We're going to get there. Republicans have ideas, Democrats have ideas, people that may be politically agnostic have some ideas. And the way in which we find those building blocks to build upon is through conversation and dialogue.
Lawmakers say this event seemed to help hit the reset button after the election. BGSU says it plans to continue having these conversations for many more years to come.
Come January, the makeup of the Michigan legislature will look different. State Democrats in the House lost seats in Tuesday night's election, which means the balance of power has shifted. Republican state representatives say they plan to work on implementing a more conservative agenda for Michigan, while Democrats say they expect to see a lot of work done before the transition of power happens.
Now there'll be a much more serious roadblock for anything that the Democrats want to get through, and the Republicans will be able to expand the agenda to their side, but that doesn't mean they'll ever be able to actually overturn Democratic policies.
Democrats currently control the governor's office and the state Senate, which were not up for election this year.
Winter is knocking on the door, and with it comes the snow.
But before that first snowflake comes down, one family is working to make sure you're prepared for emergencies. Maya May joins us live this morning.
Maya, the family had a loved one who died in one of these crashes on the turnpike. What have they done since those 2 years from that crash?
Yes, the family of Julie Roth, the woman you see here on your screen, says that they hope to turn tragedy into something helpful for other drivers out on the roads. When Julie Roth strapped her 2 toddlers in a car and headed towards the Ohio Turnpike on December 23, 2022, she was just expecting to enjoy the holidays.
It was Christmas time. My daughter and her 2 kids were traveling from Toledo to my house in Milan.
Cindy Hildebrand says her daughter Julie was one of 4 people killed in a 46-car pileup, and her grandchildren were taken to a nearby hospital alone.
They had spent hours and hours unidentified in the hospital when I was just 10 minutes from there.
A day later, Cindy and Julie's sister, Lori Crafton, made it their mission to prevent another family from being left in the dark. They created the Roth ID tag, an emergency contact identification system for car seats and booster seats.
It needs to be in a highly visible place for first responders to see. Sometimes, though, it will have to go on the back or bottom of the car seat, which is why we also include a signal tag.
On the tag, you can add 3 emergency contacts, medical information, and information to help find a lost child or child's family. Because of reviews, Lauren Crafton says she believes it makes emergency situations better for everyone involved.
I've talked to a first responder who unfortunately was on the side of the road with a child with an unresponsive mother, and they were able to find the Roth ID tag, and that child had family waiting at the hospital for him before they even arrived.
Information on the tag is concealed and faces the seat until it's needed. It also turns into a bracelet for children to wear. Roth's family says if you can't gain access to a tag, they encourage you to use duct tape or add your own tag, because the goal is to make sure every passenger is identifiable and safe.
Help your child out. Help your child out and have that information for them so they're fully prepared.
I'm told that the tags are now available in all 50 states. You can find a link to be able to purchase one of the tags at WTOL.com in the links mentioned section. For now, I'm Maya May reporting in Wood County for WTOL 11.
All right, so let's jump back into your forecast here. Taking a live look outside. It is clear, it is chilly, and we're just starting to get a little bit of that daylight showing up. Official sunrise still about a half an hour away right now. This is a live look from our Perrysburg Hospital camera. You can tell the skies are already clear with what little daylight we've got showing out there. Let's talk about your weather impacts ahead here so you know what to be prepared for today. Pretty simple. It's going to be sunny, although chilly early this morning. Jump ahead to Sunday. That one's going to be a wet day. Showers looking very likely, especially the first half of our Sunday. And then next week, a cooler breeze likely to be blowing for us here. Temperatures will start to trend back down as we head towards the middle of November. You'll start to feel a little more of that season. Let's push our headlines to the side here and then look at our big picture here with temperatures this morning, waking up to most spots somewhere in the lower 40s. Or the upper 30s across the Toledo Metro. Pull the view back. We're not the only ones waking up chilly this morning. 42 in Cleveland, 39 in Columbus, 39 in Indianapolis, and 45 right now in Chicago. Radar is dry. No chance for any showers today. Tomorrow's going to be dry as well. Again, it's Sunday where that rain returns, and it's all part of this system. You can see the showers and downpours streaming northward through the Central Plains. There is snow in the front range of the Rockies there in this area of low pressure. It's going to work its way across the Central Plains into the Great Lakes and provide us with that rain Sunday morning. Let's watch as it does that here. Here's our hour-by-hour forecast. This is Saturday morning. That low has moved into the Central Plains. The rain is still far enough away, but clouds will start to get thicker Saturday evening. Notice this is at 6 p.m. Advance the clock forward. Showers begin after midnight. This is just before the sun comes up Sunday morning. Widespread soaking showers for us through around lunchtime Sunday. So thinking about what your plans are for the weekend. If it involves anything outdoors early Sunday morning, plan on some rainfall here. Cold front comes through late, and we'll shut off that chance for rain in time for early next week. That's why our Veterans Day forecast is dry, cool, and quiet. Another little system maybe the middle of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, could provide another chance for some scattered rain showers. And like I said, those temperatures trending a bit cooler, low 50s there towards the end of this 10-day forecast. That's the latest from here.
Well, those slippers aren't in Kansas anymore. Yeah, we're talking about those ruby red ones, how you can own an iconic piece of Hollywood history and how much it'll cost you.